So I would say that one of the biggest conflicts in our relationship is that Dana takes what I think to be a long time to get ready. She takes a long time to get ready. And then I always want to rush her. And then she hates being rushed. So that's always been kind of a push-pull. Dana takes a long time, in my opinion. She hates when I rush her, in her opinion. And these are just opinions. It's not a big deal. And so for the longest time, I'm like, well, wait a minute. What's a method that will make Dana go faster, but also won't make her get mad at me for rushing her? And I think I stumbled upon it the other day organically when Dana and I both got sodas from the gas station, and she got a Diet Coke and I got a root beer. And Dana accidentally took a sip from my root beer and she went, ugh, gross. And that's when it kind of connected for me. So I think that's great because you don't like the taste of root beer. So instead of rushing Dana, I suggested this. When she's getting ready in the morning, I'll just set a stopwatch. And if her getting ready takes longer than a set amount of time on the stopwatch, she has to drink a set amount of root beer.
I don't have to do anything.
Well, this is a suggestion. This is just a suggestion. So we'd have, like, for example, first thing in the morning, you start getting ready. I pull out a measuring cup, a big liter of root beer, and a stopwatch. And then you can't get mad at me because it's not me. It's just the watch, the measuring cup, and the root beer.
It's not. It's you put all those things there.
No, but this is just what we're doing. So to avoid conflict.
This is not what we're doing.
Well, this is
there shouldn't be conflict. How do we avoid conflict? You just let me take how long I take.
Well, you will take how long you take. And then maybe you'll have to take a sip of root beer.
No.
And also, if you ever want to take a long amount of time, that's fine. You just have to drink that much more root beer.
I'm not going to drink root beer in exchange for taking my time getting ready. Robert, I take how long I take.
I agree. And what's great about the scenario is, like, I can almost be on your side where you're like, this root beer is gross. I'm like, yeah, it's fucked up. You have to drink that much root beer, but that's our system. I wouldn't say our system. Like, that's the system.
There's no the system.
Well, but I'm saying that we should implement
what you're doing, that's Pavlovian. You're training me to be averse to taking a long time to get ready.
You say that like it's bad. It's like Pavlov did have those dogs under control.
Yeah, but I'm not your dog.
No, you're not. Because dogs can't drink root beer.
I'm like, all I want is to just take how long I take to get ready.
I know. And I don't want to rush you. And so this is, by the way, this is my compromise. I'm suggesting the stopwatch root beer measuring cup compromise.
I hate root beer. So that's like...
How about this deal, though?
What?
If you get ready
what if it's lemonade?
But then you like lemonade, because then you would get a reward for taking too long.
But I want that.
No, but how about this? If you get ready in a quick amount of time, then I'm punished and I have to drink root beer.
But you like root beer.
Oh, yeah. But, still, it's root beer for all.
You guys, let them know in the comments that, like, it's not okay to rush a woman.
Well,
it's not okay.
I agree. It's not me. It's the system. It's the system.
Okay, I'm ready to wrap up.
Midnight
Milkshake.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when businesses are super territorial over their parking lot, where they're like, if you park in this parking lot, it must only be for our specific business. Don't you dare patron the businesses around us. Because it's kind of like, chill out. Are we in a society or not? You know what I mean?
Well, my whole thing is the only businesses who are ever really territorial about parking are the ones who are always located next to more popular businesses. You will never see the more popular business being really territorial over the parking spots because they know that people are there for them. They're not worried if people are there for them or not. But I have a really good example, and that is there's this really popular thrift store in the Valley, and it like gets super packed, super busy. And then in the same parking lot as this thrift store are this Vietnamese restaurant and this nail salon, and they're always like dead empty. But there's 2 rows of parking spaces that are always completely empty that just have like really, really mean, scary, prohibitive signs on them being like, this is only parking for the Vietnamese restaurant and the nail salon. Like, do not park here for blank thrift store. And literally, I'm like, it's bad when there's specifically parking that says no parking for blank business.
Yes.
And then that business is the one that's fucking popping.
Well, like, are they under the impression that like people are driving by, they're going there to go to that Vietnamese restaurant or that nail salon, but then like, oh man, if they have to look for parking for more than 2 seconds, they're gonna not get their nails done there? It's like, no, if people want to use your business, they'll find a way to park to use your business.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason to, dare I say, shame people for wanting to go to the more popular business.
I know, but alas, I'm like, I do think it's always insecurity. The thrift store does not have any of their parking spots marked no parking for a Vietnamese restaurant or nail store. nail
the
salon.
thrift store's not even thinking about you.
No.
Well, I want to walk out.
They're not worried.
I knock on the door of like the Vietnamese restaurant, the nail salon. I'm like, hey, just so you know, the thrift store's not thinking about you guys at all.
Yeah.
It seems like this is very one-sided. You have some sort of infatuation. You need to. It's kind of getting a little desperate.
Well, it's like you're sick and obsessed.
You are sick and obsessed. You're obsessed with the thrift store.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, if anything, it's just more embarrassing for you because here's the thing: if people from the thrift store were allowed to park there, then I don't know if the car parked there is for the thrift store or not. I'll just look and be like, hey, people are parked outside that nail salon. I bet it's popular. People are parked outside that Vietnamese restaurant. I bet they make some bomb Vietnamese food. But because you are very clear about these spots are only for us, I see they're empty. Therefore, I conclude nobody wants to fuck with your business like that.
That's so true. It's the psychology of the empty parking spot because you're so, again, it really does speak to kind of almost like a scarcity mindset.
Yes.
Of like these businesses, why are they not doing well? Is it like random or is the parking spot kind of part of it? Like, is it like you guys aren't doing well because you're so like obviously trying to accommodate a customer that doesn't exist?
Well, here's my thing. So many businesses will take these little steps, like they won't let you park there unless it's specifically for their business, and they won't let you use the bathroom unless you're specifically a customer. And it's like they'll do these things and then they'll wonder why business isn't better. Because again, setting aside like the parking space or the bathroom, it's really about the vibe. Are you cultivating a welcoming vibe or not? And when you say things like no bathroom or no parking, it communicates a very harsh, stressful vibe that I don't want to participate in, no matter how good your food or your nail service or whatever.
That's so true. It doesn't make me want to patronize your business more because you have a parking spot that says that I can't park there if I'm going to go to any other business in the lot, which brings us to what happened today.
The place I cut my hair at shares their parking lot with a laundromat. In
a watch store.
It's
a dry cleaner and a watch store.
Okay.
Yeah.
The place I get my hair cut shares their parking lot with a watch store and a dry cleaners. And the parking lot belongs to those three businesses. And
but it's located across from one of the most like popular coffee shops in the city.
So they obviously don't want people parking there to go to the coffee shop. On some level, I get that. But here's also my problem. They're so paranoid about the coffee shop. Every time I go to get my hair cut, I'm treated as if I'm going to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Like every time I pull into that parking lot, the guy in the dry cleaners always like comes to the doorway and he's like staring at me and he's looking at me and he's got the phone in his hand. And it's like this thing where I'm like, he's like so eager to tow my car.
Yeah.
And then I have to explain, I've explained to him like 5 times, hey, no, I'm here to get my hair cut. And then whenever I do that, he's like, oh, okay. And he acts like it's like chill out, man. Also, it's not your parking lot. It is just like, come on, dude.
Right, you share this multiple businesses, but here's my thing too. I just want an explanation of the exact rules because okay, you're going there to get your haircut. So here's exactly what happened today, just for the rundown. I dropped Robert off his haircut because I need to go run another errand. And then I come back and I know Robert's in the haircut place. So I'm like, okay, great. Robert's in the haircut place. So I'm allowed to park Robert's car in the lot while I wait for Robert to get done with his haircut. In the meantime, I'm like, why don't I go pick us up some coffees? Because the car is in the lot for someone who's patronizing one of the businesses listed on the signs of cars allowed to park in the lot. I get our coffees. I come back, Robert's waiting by his car. We get in the car. We see the crazy dry cleaner parking lot police coming toward us. And he's telling me, he's going, I'm on the phone with the tow truck right now. I already called the tow truck because he saw me going to get coffee. And I kind of not freak out, but like I get very defensive, but I'm like, he was getting his haircut here because like also this guy has done this before. He's done this before. And I'm like, what do you mean you called the tow truck because I went to go get coffees? I was like, you don't even know. You don't know. I am driving the car as someone who is patronizing this business. Is his car allowed to be here or not?
Yeah.
Like, tell me the rules. Also, okay, think like hypothetical scenario. I patronize your dry cleaner. I go drop off my things at your dry cleaner, and then I want to go get a coffee. While I'm getting a coffee, are you gonna have my car towed? I just dropped off my stuff at your dry cleaner. What's the rules?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that specifically. It was also this annoying thing where like I was allowed to park there because I was getting my haircut. Danny got coffees. So the guy comes over, as we're pulling out, he comes over holding the phone that he's on the phone with the tow truck guy. He comes over and he goes, roll down your window, roll down your window. We roll down the window and Dana starts going, no, we got his haircut. He's allowed to park here. He got his haircut. And then the guy goes, whoa, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. Just relax.
Don't tell me to calm down. You're the one who the second that you see a car parked there that you worry might not be patronizing one of the businesses, you immediately pick up the phone. I'm sorry, like you're tow truck happy, sir. He's tow truck happy.
Well, it is the thing too. Again, he's looking in and then he's like looking at me like, wow, what you getting so worked up about? I'm like, no, you're worked up.
You're worked
You
up.
were trying to tow us. You can't be like, hey, why are you freaking out so much? It's like, I'm freaking out because of you.
Also, I swear to God, there's something in the word relax that makes people freak out. At least me. Every time I've ever been told to relax, I've freaked out, including in yoga class.
Well, I think maybe it's because it's like a hard X sound. So you're right. Maybe to communicate the message of relax, it should be a more soothing word. Like relax should be.
Yeah. Well, I love in the Adam Sandler movie with Jack Nicholson, Anger Management, Goose Frava.
Yeah.
That's what Jack Nicholson says to the anger patients.
So if someone's getting too worked up, you just be like.
Oh.
Boy, see, that made me nervous.
Okay,
Now
sorry.
never mind. Maybe relax is the best. Maybe relax is the
No,
best
I think
word for
relax
it.
is not good. But also, you know what's funny is relax, the song, relax. That's the trigger song in Zoolander. That triggers Zoolander to kill the Prime Minister of Malaysia.
Yeah.
So that also proves my point. That relax has never made anyone relax. It's made them either extremely aggravated or literally want to assassinate the Prime Minister of Malaysia.
But wouldn't the joke in Zoolander be that it's not actually a stress-inducing song? It's actually a relaxing song and relaxing message?
That's the irony of the song. Yeah, but I'm saying that it proves what I'm saying, which is like the opposite of what is intended by the word or the song is what happens.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think that you just have a little bit of an ego when it comes to stuff like that, because let's say relax wasn't the word was, then you would be on this podcast being like, there's something in the word that just makes me like really upset. They should change it to something like, I don't know, like relax or something. And that way I'd like it. It's like, you just don't like to be controlled, dare I say.
Well, I also just have this thing where I'm like, I don't know what it is. Okay, here's my real take. In general, I'm just a little high energy. Like, I have a lot of energy. That's just how I am. That's how I've always been. And people my whole fucking life, I can't even remember. Probably the first thing I remember another person saying to me was to relax. Probably the first thing and I'm like, why? You're looking at yourself. You're mogging. You're mogging while I'm talking. You're just mogging the camera while I'm talking.
Okay, all right, sorry at the beginning. I was trying to give myself a thumbnail face because I don't make good thumbnail faces.
But you can do that at the end. Why don't we have a thumbnail session at the end?
Okay, we'll do that. But
Also, do you guys see what I deal with? Robert is like
We're
extremely
gonna cut this
vain.
part out.
I'm not cutting it out.
You have to cut this
I'm
part
not cutting
out.
it out.
We can't let you see all the sausage
No,
today.
I'm not
Dana.
cutting it out. You wanted to make your thumbnail face to the thing. I'm not. No. Relax. Also, it's the same thing with excuse me. It's like, why do you, the first person who says relax automatically makes it so the other person is the one who's riled up.
You can't take a he who smelt it dealt it approach to being told to relax.
I'm done on my relax monologue. All I'm saying is people have been telling me to relax my whole life. It has never once made me relaxed. And again, the fact that I'm not in prison amazes me every day.
Well, here's what's annoying about the guy today, or the dry cleaner guy who tried to tow our car. He comes up, and as soon as you started flipping out on him, he goes, whoa, and then he looks to me, he goes, I'm trying to talk to him, the driver, and he tries to like have a moment of like brotherhood with me.
Yeah.
Like, can you believe this hysterical broad? You know what's embarrassing? Just off pure instinct, I kind of did have the moment with him. I was like, yeah, I know, women be crazy, and she loves to shop too. Hey, you should try telling her, excuse me. And then anyway, me and the owner of the dry cleaner, we're gonna watch the game together in a couple nights, get some brews.
Anyway, this man is insane and he's so happy. And if you have the kind of business where you need to write on your parking spots, not parking for more popular business, and if you're patronizing more popular business and you park here, we're gonna have you fucking killed, dead.
Well, but here's the thing about this. This was so frustrating.
Yeah.
You have this sign with all of your intense paranoid rules about who can park there, but I'm following them.
Yeah.
I am only parking here to get my haircut. The thing is, if I follow your crazy rules, you can't get mad at me, and you certainly can't you can't be breathing down my neck. That's the thing. Every time I park there, every single time, the dry cleaner like comes to the doorway and he stares at me, and it's like, look, I can't be made. Let's tell you what, if I park here to not use any of these businesses, fine, go nuts on me. But if I am following your rules, you can't do it. It's against the law. Well, it isn't against the law. Should be.
I mean, yeah, he should have some sort of retribution. Here's the thing, he already has his retribution, and it's that no one likes his dumb dry cleaner. And I'll say about that dry cleaner, I would never go there. Why? Because there's a far superior dry cleaner, literally kitty corner to this dry cleaner.
Say his dry cleaner always seems to be pretty in use.
Then why does he have time to like patrol the parking lot?
I don't know.
Clearly no.
I don't
Clearly
know.
it's not.
What is frustrating is, like, again, he shares the parking lot with the watch store and the haircut guy, and the haircut guy and the watch store guy they don't even mind the parking lot.
Well, because they are busy
Yeah.
with their patrons. He clearly lacks patrons, and that's why how he makes his money, I would guess, is he and the tow truck guy split the tow fee.
Yeah, he's in
That's
cahoots
his
with
real
the tow truck guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always think about that. When people have parking lots with tow policies, stringent tow policies, I always think, are they getting a cut?
Well, I always think businesses have too much power over their parking lot for my taste. Like, what? Okay, it's just a parking lot. It's like, why do you get to treat it like a sovereign nation and make up your own rules? They have rules like, if you park here for this amount of time, we can tow you. If you park here for this business and not this business, we can tow you. It's like, why do you just get power of tow truck because you hung up a sign?
You're not like a Native American reservation.
Yeah, and that's my real problem with these parking lot signs. It's like, really, this is stolen land.
Yeah.
Who are you to put a sign up? This land is stolen.
As
sir.
Chief Seattle said, how can you own this guy?
How can you? Well, and now the dry cleaner guy's putting up signs being like, you can only fly in this airspace if you're to use my dry cleaner. He's like looking up at the sky with the tow truck. With the tow
how does
helicopter.
the airspace work there?
Yeah. What the F, man?
What the freak?
Again, he always is paranoid. And then this thing of like almost told me. You literally are on the phone with the tow truck guy.
Yeah, he's holding the phone. He's going, I already called the tow truck guy.
And then he's immediately like, hey, chill. It's like, no, you are the escalator. You can't say chill. You're the one who why are you trying to tow me? Also, here's also the thing. He's like walking up to us. He's like, I already called the tow truck. Let's say we were there for the coffee. And what? I'm leaving.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, are you going to call the police? Are you going to detain us? Are you going to like throw your body in front of our car?
Well,
do it!
What I like is already, I can tell you don't like that. You don't like to be told the
I'm getting hot just talking about him. Like he made me so mad. Dude, also just the fucking nerve to escalate and then be like, whoa. Like, I literally can't stand that. That is like also again, especially when it's like a stranger and it's like, also you don't know what I'm made of, you know? I'm like, be fucking, tread carefully around me. I should just wear a shirt that says like, hey, watch it.
You've worn shirts like that. You've worn so many graphic tees saying with messages like that. No one respects it. Here's the thing. If you ever wear a graphic tee, people's takeaway is going to be the opposite of that message.
Right. Like if I started wearing a shirt that said, I'll fuck you up, people will be like, she's not going to fuck me up.
She's not. Well, it's like when it's like when suburban dads on vacation get shirts that say female body inspector. I'm like, I know right away. You're not looking at any women. No, you have nothing to do with any women's bodies.
That was a shirt that when I was younger, I was really, really, really off put whenever I'd say that.
Well, of course, it's the creepiest message in the world.
And I'm like, that's
well,
not cool.
it's like if women started wearing shirts that were like CIA cock investigative agent.
Yeah,
men might love that.
They would.
You can't really meet
I'm gonna
fire
make a shirt
with
like
fire
that
when it comes to like being like jovially perverted.
Yeah. Well, again, women can't outperv men because on some level, it's like also. It all really does go back to the inherent power imbalance between men and women and the fact that men can physically overpower most women and the vice versa is not true.
Yeah.
That's ultimately where it comes down.
I mean, unfortunately, that's where so many things come from. But again, you need to wear a shirt that says like, never mind the physical power imbalance. I have a rage inside me.
I have a rage inside me.
Well, you do. Well, here's what's frustrating about that.
I have a rage. My rage is my gift. I'm like really hot.
Well,
like,
Dana often does get very easily triggered by things. I shouldn't say easily. Yeah, maybe justifiably. Yeah. Today you were justified. That was justified.
Today that was justified. Also, I knew it was justified because you weren't even mad at me.
Well, no, you were actually correct.
You were
I was
on
mad
my
at the
side.
guy
You
for
were
trying to think you like go around you to be like. Also, he's like, hey, what's going on with this? Like, you're trying to tow the car also so quickly.
Yeah.
Also, you don't know.
You don't know.
Well, it's kind of like I feel how I feel like whenever Walmart has like their quote unquote greeters. So again, they say greeters, really they're guards. They're there to guard the entrance. Whenever they like go through your stuff to make sure you're not stealing, I'm like, no. I just bought it from you guys. I paid you money. You gave me the product. If you think I'm stealing, call the police.
Right.
I shouldn't have to like immediately get treated like a criminal for patronizing your store.
Also, again, I just don't think it's like we give like people working at businesses too much power over us. Like I'm a I'm a free person, you know?
Yeah. Well, I do think parking lots and restrooms should be like whatever the opposite of privatized is. What do you call it when the government seizes something? I don't know. Anyway, I think that parking lots and restrooms should become communal property. I think
Like
that
nationalized.
I think
They
they should
should
be
nationalize
nationalized.
restrooms and parking lots.
I think parking lots and restrooms should be nationalized because I think they're communal good.
Well, they should be like BLM land. Like, you know,
What?
BLM land?
No.
So there's BLM land throughout America. It's land that is controlled by the Bureau of Land Management, and you
Oh.
can park and camp there for free.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So if you look on maps, if you like if you're ever homeless or like living in your car, you can like literally just look up these BLM maps and you can go anywhere and like stay there for as long as you want.
Well, I always think this though, whenever there's like a bunch of businesses in a row, like a bunch of businesses, a lot of times there's like a strip center and there's like never any parking. And it's like, you're all losing out
Yeah.
on the fact that there's nowhere to park.
Yeah.
None of you get to win because none of you want to just like provide adequate parking.
I know.
And the same goes for restrooms. It's like, guys, if you all offer a restroom, A, no one restroom would be overrun, but then B, people would be able to buy more things from all your businesses. Like we'd all win.
Also, again, the world is just better when there's abundance. Like when there's unlimited parking for everyone, when I can like pee as much as I want. Again, also I'm like, what you want as a business, if I'm a business, I want people like out of their houses, milling about. And the best way to have people out of their houses milling about is to make sure that they have a place to pee and a place to park their car.
Well, here's why I ultimately think that restrooms and parking lots should be nationalized. And they should stop being the purview of individual businesses and become like a communal good, is because in order for the community to function, people need to be able to park there and pee there.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen. So it is just like, and it shouldn't be an individual business's decision because it's like, no, this is a good for everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone, in order to function in society, in order for this to be a society, people need to be able to park and they need to pee.
But the fact that we even have to tell these business owners that, I'm like, this goes back to what I was saying, where like you wouldn't be doing this if you were not a deeply insecure business that was struggling.
Yeah.
You would not be so obsessed with, again, kind of like being so punitive about people parking there for a more popular business.
Yeah. Well, again, a lot of the most popular businesses, I do think they tend to have the best restrooms.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Well, there's a specific mall in LA. It's called The Grove. They have the best restrooms. I will go there if I'm like out and about in LA. I'll drive there if I just need to use the bathroom.
And there are places where you can validate your parking for free.
True, but
If
you know
you
what?
know.
Sometimes what I'll do there is I won't validate my parking on purpose because
I
I'm
know.
like, I peed and or the other one here puked.
You be shitting at the Grove?
We can't speak
You be
like this.
shitting at the Grove.
Well, you know what? But it is one of the few places in LA where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's clean, whatever. And so I won't even validate my parking because I'll be like, you earned
Yeah.
this $3
Right.
or whatever absurd price they charge you
you're
for parking.
happy to pay to poop.
But even in that case, it's kind of like, all right, so what? Like, I still couldn't park for free. Everything costs. There's a
Yeah.
cost to parking. There's a cost to go into the bathroom. It's like, what's
Yeah.
going on in this society?
I mean, again, it's a money hungry society. But okay, this is also something I saw a TikTok of, and I was like thinking about this. It's so real and true. But like the reason why the government has, gives parking tickets and makes you renew your car registration isn't because the government needs that money. It's because they need you to need that money.
Yes.
And it's all about scarcity. I mean, what we're really diagnosing is just like, this is scarcity mindset. When you put up a bunch of signs on your parking spots that say like, you can only park here if you're coming to my business, I'm like, that's a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
You're literally like, you're so afraid that your customers won't have somewhere to park because a more popular business's customers might park there, that what happens? You have no customers.
Yeah.
Honey, like I always think that about that parking lot specifically, where it's always empty. And they have like all of these crazy signs that are like, you can only park here for these businesses. And what I know about all these businesses is that they're not that popular because the parking lot that services them is always empty.
Preach.
Anyway.
Speak on it. Well, also, I don't like to ask for the code anywhere. That's also something where I'm like, the bathroom code, I'm like, again, like, you're not like doing me a favor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm at Chick-fil-A and I need to go to the bathroom, I shouldn't like have to go back up again. I have to like wait in line. Sometimes like, hi, can I have the code? And they're like, yeah, it's this. I'm like, don't say it to me like you're helping me out of a jam. This is like bare minimum.
Well, also they're like microaggressions that like make you feel. It's like all to like make you feel powerless. You know what I mean? Like it's like these little interactions that like rob you of your power and your autonomy as a human being.
Yeah. And that's what I say to them when I go to Chick-fil-A. I'm like, hey, can I get the code? And they just give it to me. I go, yeah, just so you know, by the way, you're robbing me of my power and autonomy as a human being.
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, that's what we want to do. We're Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
We don't give a shit.
And they go, my pleasure. It's my pleasure to rob you of your autonomy, you little pig.
That's what these businesses do.
Yeah.
Anyway, but here's what else that makes me think. Here's what this has made me think, though. I think that we're actually reaching a real fever pitch with there literally not being enough public restrooms for people because, and I know this is kind of gross, but as we like walk around on the sidewalks, like I'm seeing a lot more poop on the sidewalk. And do I think it's human poop? No. Am I certain it's not? Also,
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say. There is kind of an increase.
But that leads us to...
Well, this leads us to my thought. And here's just what I was thinking. Because I'm also just like, because here's the thing. If it is human poop just in the middle of the sidewalk, I'm like, that's like a crazy... That's most likely pure desperation. Or it's like wow, someone really taking a risk. So here's my question for you. I was just thinking this. Like, what would it take for me to be willing to do this? Aside from like pure desperation, obviously. Okay. Would you, for $10 million, poop in the middle of a public sidewalk every night for 10 nights straight?
For what?
$10 million.
Yeah,
You
100%.
get $10 million. You have to every night poop and we'll give a range. It has to be like within like a mile.
Enthusiastically. For $10 million, easiest $10 million ever made.
It can't be. Well, you've never made any 10 million, but
Hey, don't tell them that. They think I'm a billionaire mogul.
Yeah.
No, yeah, easy. Like to me, I'm like, that's a no-brainer.
It's at middle of a sidewalk.
Yeah, right, but also at night. So it's dark outside. I'm like, I can mix up where I'm going, right?
Within the range, within the predetermined range.
Within a mile, yeah, I could definitely do it. My question is, if I get caught and I like go to jail for some reason, do I get the opportunity to continue finishing out my task
so
for
you're
$10 million?
Okay.
So say like I'm pooping every night on the sidewalk four nights in.
And
it's
then
going great.
And you get arrested and you're kept
5.
in prison for like 2 nights.
Yes.
Can you return back and start back at 9
Or do I have to start at 1?
I'm going to say you have to start at 1.
Okay, so part of the task is poop every night for 10 nights and don't get caught.
Well,
right?
You can get caught. It just means 2 rules with that.
Yeah.
After you're released, you have to start back at 1. And if you get caught, you cannot explain that you're doing it for $10 million as part of a bet. You have to just be like, they're like, why are you doing it? You gotta be like, you have to think of some other fake reason.
Okay, so that's my other thing. I'm like, I feel like if I did get caught, I would just be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I was about to shit my pants. Like, I had Panda Express earlier. And they'd be like understanding because that's a normal reason.
Who are these understanding cops in this scenario? They catch you squatting in the middle of the sidewalk shitting, and they're like, hey, we've all been there. We've all gone to the Express.
I think that they have. I'm sure. I'm like, they're cops. They're on patrol. They're like driving around. I'm sure they've had the urge to shit their pants after having Panda Express. And I feel like maybe they'd be sympathetic.
Well, okay. But then there's the other issue then where, okay, then here's the thing. If you do get caught and they release you, getting caught again might even be a big problem. Because then at that point, this is some like, whoa, this is not the second time we've caught her shitting within the same 1 mile radius.
I would literally just be like, I'm going to go to the doctor. Like, I'm having serious, like, gut health issues.
But they would clearly know that's not true. They've caught you.
Yeah, they've caught me once, but I would
twice
be like,
at this point.
Well, no, twice, but I'd be like, clearly I've got health issues. The first time, like, I had no idea what was going on. The second time, I'm like, wow, this is a problem, and I'm gonna work on it now.
But then
What?
I don't know. I feel like you might get in real trouble.
I don't think I'd get in real trouble.
I think you're underplaying it.
I really don't think I am. To me, I'm like, I see the whole scenario in my head, and I'm like, first of all, I don't think I'd get caught because I'd mix it up enough. I think people would think it was dog shit on the sidewalk.
Well, I think you benefit from being short and small.
Yeah, I think as long as you're not pooping in the same place every day to the point where you drum up the suspicion of the person who lives in the house in front of where you're pooping and they call the cops on you, I don't see how you would get caught.
Okay.
Because
now ask me.
Robert, for $10 million, would you poop in the middle of the sidewalk every night for 10 nights?
Oh yeah, easiest 10 mil I've ever made. Oh, easy.
Yeah?
And then they'd catch me and I'd be like, I'm picturing it. You did it. You made it all 10 days. And then you even got caught and you gave them your Panda Express line and it worked. Yeah. And they had sympathy for you. Mm-hmm. And then you got your 10 mil and they offered it to me. I'm like, I'll get it. I'll get my 10 mil. And then they catch me and they bring me in. I'm like, sorry, I've got health issues. I just had Panda Express. And then they beat the shit out of me with batons.
No, 100. I don't think that would work for you.
It would. Nothing in this would work for you.
But I genuinely think I could make the Panda Express. I could sell the Panda Express line because the real truth is I've been on a walk before and been like, I might need to shit on the sidewalk because otherwise I'm gonna shit my pants. Like I've had a Panda Express tummy attack where I'm like, no, that's real to me. Like I'm like, I'd be drawing on real experience.
You'd be like using like whatever the Strasbourg method. You'd be using Meisner.
Yeah. I'd be using Meisner to recall that like, no, it's Panda Express that made me shit.
The cops would be in another room like, well,
Yeah.
she either has gut health issues from Panda Express or she's the best damn actor we've ever seen.
Like someone get her in the big picture, big screen picture.
They cast you in something and they find out that actually the only thing you're able to act is, I need to shit my pants because of Panda Express.
Yeah, maybe I'm a one-trick pony like that. Who knows?
Well, there was a time we were on a walk and you suddenly started walking really, really fast. And it turned out that was the reason. You made it home, but that was the reason.
I genuinely thought I was going to shit my pants. Like, my body was getting hot and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, everything was just like, it was breaking me.
Real quick. Hey, checking in with the folks at home. Do you guys like this?
But also, folks at home, comment below if you would take the 10 million to shit 10 nights in a row on the middle of the sidewalk.
Chime in on the $10 million poop on the sidewalk for 10 nights in a row challenge.
Yeah.
Doesn't really roll off the tongue. It would have to be like,
would be like 10. It'd be like 10M. The 10M shit challenge.
The 10M shit challenge.
Yeah, the 10 million shit challenge.
Well, here's the thing. I do think if we do start a movement and this does start kind of spreading around the nation, we would get in huge trouble.
But who's paying $10 million? Like, the problem is that, like, we get
taken to court.
Yeah.
They're like, we get taken to court by someone. They're like, I did it for 10 nights in a row. They started the challenge. They have to pay me. They didn't say that they wouldn't pay.
Yeah, they didn't say that they wouldn't pay.
I mean, here's the thing. If I was like a billionaire, I would be doing shit like this.
No, 100%. Like, well, that's what Mr. Beast essentially does.
Yeah.
He, like, literally is like, I'm locking you in a box for $100,000. That's what he does.
There was like a crossover on the most recent season of Beast Games with Survivor, and Jeff Probst, the host of Survivor, said to Mr. Beast, he goes, you really ask an interesting question with this show, which is, what would people do for money? And it's like, I'd argue that's maybe the least interesting question of all time. It's literally just like, I guess, I don't know.
Well, I think Mr. Beast's question is interesting, which is like that he claims, he's like, everyone has a number for a different thing.
Yes.
And I like to find out what that number is. And I'm like, I think that actually is interesting.
First off, when you say it like that, it's just like, this is a psychopath.
No, he is a psychopath. He says that himself. Yeah. He's like, I'm a robot. Well, people don't get it.
Yeah. People ask Mr. Beast for the keys to his success, and he immediately drops like the most psychopathic bar you've ever heard.
Yeah.
They're like, Mr. Beast, how'd you get big on YouTube? He's like, everyone has a price, and it is only he who is willing to pay it who will have the ultimate power. And you're like, whoa, so super cool. How do you pick your thumbnails? It's like, the image burned in the brain of the watcher will compel them to do your bidding, regardless of their own autonomy. And they're like, well, thanks for coming around, Jimmy.
Yeah.
That being said, I have to do this caveat every time we talk about Mr. Beast. When we met him in person, we fell under his power.
Right.
Well, here's what I'm realizing I'm actually quite mentally weak from a social standpoint because, again, met Mr. Beast, immediately folded, treated him like God. The dry cleaner guy gets mad at you. He kind of goes around you to me. I instantly try to build camaraderie with him. I'm so desperate for any sense of rapport. I instantly like, yeah, my hysterical wife, don't mind her.
Yeah, you're trying to make male friends everywhere you go.
Yeah, and failing.
And failing miserably.
So I guess that's my curse right there. If Mr. Beast was like, would you be willing to make a male friend for 10 million? I'd be like, I'm not even going to bother.
You could try.
I could try.
You could try.
But it'd be too hard.
Here's the thing, I'd go on any Mr. Beast show. Like right now, if Mr. Beast, like my only hang up about all these shows is I'm like, oh man, like I don't want to apply. But again, I guess everyone clearly wants this because everyone's applying. It's like competitive.
Yeah.
To get to the point where Mr. Beast is like starving you in a hole in the middle of the desert for 4 days, you have to like fight to even get there.
Yeah.
Like...
Someone's crushed inside like a plastic tube that's being lowered into the earth.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is my dream, Jimmy.
Thank you for picking me to do this, Jimmy.
Yeah. Well, there was a Mr. Beast challenge recently where it's like he locked everyone in the grocery store for a certain amount of days. And then the problem was like no one like left the grocery store or something. And then he was like, okay, he like did something crazy where he came in because no one was leaving. He like somehow like quadrupled the time they would spend in the grocery store.
Oh.
That's my thing where I'm just like, man, don't you have a life to live? Don't you have a life to live sometimes?
Like to get out of the grocery store?
It was something where it's like they went from spending 60 days in a grocery store to like 180 days in a grocery store.
Yeah, don't you have things to do?
I have shit to do.
Me, that 120 days would be crucial. Especially if I thought it was like 60 days.
Well, that's always what I think about any reality show where I'm like, what's going on with like your job? You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of people just either they get the time off or they quit their job to go on. People talk about this with like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and stuff. Some people are like, no, I didn't get to go back to my job. Like I was like, I'm going to go. Sometimes you just have to risk it.
You quit your job, you get rejected weekend one on national television, and then you go home. The problem is, like, again, no job?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, TV used to be more important.
Yes.
So I think it was like the kind of thing where if you were given the opportunity to be on one of these shows, like in a heartbeat, you'd go, because it's like being on TV is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
In the past. But now it's kind of like, well, it still is like a unique opportunity, but like TV is not the same thing that it was. Like it's not, you're not actually going to be capturing the attention of a nation. You're going to be capturing the attention of like maybe 200,000 people on a streaming show. Maybe if your season's really popular.
Well, it is a thing like Mr. Beast too, where it's like you look at like the evolution or devolution of reality TV or whatever. It's like going on The Bachelor in like 2011. It's like, of course you'd quit your job to do that because again, there's like, this is actually a big deal and it will have a ton of eyeballs. But the thing is now it's like, I'll quit my job to like what? Go on a Mr. Beast YouTube video, of which there are hundreds and will be hundreds more, and also on his Amazon Prime show there's even more hundreds of competitors. It's like you're almost immediately being like, of course you're lost in the shuffle.
Well, you know what I'd love is like actually raw data of applicants to reality TV shows over the years, because I think it like has gone up and down based on like what's happening in culture. We're like, okay, I think like in the mid 2000s everyone wanted to go on reality TV because it was the only way for random people who weren't nepotism to get on TV at all, right? But then there became like how do you call it? Like a new wave of people who wanted to be on reality TV specifically because of social media. And like, again, I'm like, I think there was a huge spike in people who were willing to go on reality TV specifically because they finally had a way to actually capitalize on the fame they were garnering from being on TV.
Yes. Well, I do think the people who go on reality TV shows now are people with 4,000 Instagram followers who think they should have 500,000. It's like, it's not people with zero. And it's not people who already have 100,000. It's those people who have 4K and they sell like medical supplies in Phoenix. And they're like, I fucking should have 200K.
Yeah, they're like, I'm hot enough for 200K.
But then people with 200K is like, I don't want to go on reality TV because then that could like, what if I embarrass myself and then people unfollow me?
Or what if I get canceled? What if I get a little bit too famous and then they dig up my old tweets?
Yeah. That is the thing with like, Love Island. Apparently no one wants to go on Love Island anymore because it's like, it's like you're being like put through the ringer.
Well, it also sucks because then reality shows are also depriving themselves of, dare I say, actually interesting contestants. Because I maintain if you've never tweeted anything kind of like edgy or problematic, you've never been a cool teenager. Like, and you know what I mean? Like within reason, obviously, but like come the fuck on. If you didn't like tweet some unhinged shit when you were 15, like you're a boring loser. You're a boring loser.
Well, there was
nothing. You tweeted nothing when you were 15. Grow some balls. Yeah. And so there's a bunch of like testicle-less reality TV show contestants.
Okay, but I don't even think the problem is the contestants. I think the problem is the audience. Here's the thing. One of the biggest problems with modern pop culture is that reality TV show viewers think they're too morally pure to consume reality TV content. Like there was some big cheating scandal on like Summer House or whatever. Hey, I'm too busy reading books. I don't know the names of these things. Sorry. But there was some big cheating scandal and then people genuinely were being like, the cast members who cheated on their partners should be kicked off the reality show. And then Chrishell from Selling Sunset made some big post on her Instagram being like, and brands, I don't want to see any brands working with these two reality show contestants. And I'm like, what exactly do you think we're doing here? It's reality TV. It's meant to be people who are morally debaucherous. By the way, specifically in that way.
Yeah.
Like a cheating scandal is like, that's what you're supposed to do a reality TV show for. It's not like someone brought like a flamethrower to City Hall or anything. A couple dumb hot people cheated. And by the way, I actually watched Selling Sunset with Chrishell on it. And if you watch that show, Chrishell is the villain of the show. That's the great secret of people who know Selling Sunset. Chrishell is the villain who acts like she's like a goody two-shoes. She's kind of like a dare I say, to use a Harry Potter reference, a Dolores Umbridge type. She has the veneer of super nice, super kind, while secretly having very base goals. She accused some lady of like doing like hard drugs just out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere on TV. A lady with kids.
Now the lady did. It drove her insane.
It drove her insane. But okay, here's my thing. But in general, I think that actually speaks to what you're talking about, where it's like audiences are morally righteous. Where I'm like, no, the kind of audiences though, the audience is a Chriselle type. Yes. Every person now who loves watching reality TV is also like a fucking morally righteous piece of shit who performs their moral virtue while also being extremely like judgmental and probably mean in their own lives.
Yes.
It's very like throwing stones, hiding their hands type of people.
Exactly.
Like it's very like, I'm gonna start shit under the water. Again, it reminds me of in girls water polo, famously, like the way that you play girls water polo is you like are supposed to like essentially like scratch people under the water where the referees can't see. But like that's the whole thing. Like, and the girls who are good at water polo, they're fucking like, they figured out how to hurt the other team underwater as painfully as possible without having the referee see. And I'm like, that is all of these people.
Yes. And that's the problem. We're getting also like what you're ultimately robbing yourself of is interesting TV.
Yes.
What you're ultimately robbing yourself of. By the way, I don't watch these shows.
Yeah.
I'm too busy reading the holy book. I'm too busy
reading the Bible.
Reading the Bible. No, but like I'm reading like Game of Thrones and shit. But also it's like it's this thing where I'm like literally like you're watching these shows and then when the drama happens, which is the reason you watch these shows, you complain as if to perform that you're above the events happening on the show you're watching. And it's like, just watch the show, man.
Well, it goes back to like we talk about the season of Love Island with Leah and Rob.
Yes.
And people performing. I didn't even care about like Rob on that season of Love Island. I only cared about the female friendship. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And that's okay. But also, no, you didn't.
The degree to which I watched that season of Love Island. I know the truth.
We watched the season.
The degree to which you care about the female friendship is to you, it seemed like a refuge from the storm that was the Rob drama.
Yeah.
Without the male created or participated in drama, you wouldn't have been as invested in the female friendship.
Yeah.
By the way, Leah did not take a back seat. That's what I'll say.
Okay. I weighed myself at the gym today. Obviously, I have a long and sordid history with body, food, and my weight, but I don't like to weigh myself very often. I weighed myself last year for the first time in 2 years. And when I weighed myself last year for the first time in 2 years, I had gained 10 pounds since the time I weighed myself previously. This year, I hadn't weighed myself in exactly a year. I weighed myself today and I had gained exactly 1 pound since I weighed myself last year. And what was my takeaway? What was my takeaway?
The takeaway you told me earlier was that whenever you're insecure or whenever you're stressed or whenever something's going wrong, your brain almost verbalizes to itself that like, well, I've gained so much weight. Yeah. That's kind of like your go-to like mental stem. Whenever anything goes wrong or that
is my mental stem. My mental stem is I've gained weight.
Yeah.
That's a mental stem.
And you weighed yourself and what you discovered was your weight is exactly the same.
Well, it's 1 pound up.
Well, yes.
But again, what is 1 pound?
Well, what is 1 pound? Also, you had a big breakfast this morning.
True,
so
I did
really
have a big breakfast.
Also, I literally think it's like, that's probably like lost fat, gained muscle, whatever.
I mean, I was just saying to Robert, I think my clothes fit better and like I like how I look better this year than I did last year. So I think ultimately like it's neutral. It's in the noise. But it's just it is so interesting that it's like you think that your weight has changed drastically and then like ultimately it probably hasn't.
Well, Dana's also always saying stuff like, I looked at old pictures of myself. I was so much thinner then. And it's like literally at this point, as absurd as that is on its face, the numbers also don't even bear that out.
Right.
So if anything, the takeaway is that like, oh, next time in my head I go to that place, know that place is an illusion of my own making.
Yes.
Also, I never weigh myself. And I gotta be honest, the real benefit of never weighing myself is that weight is actually meaningless to me.
Right.
Because like if I weighed myself today, it would mean nothing because I have no context. I haven't weighed myself in many years.
Yeah.
I actually don't even know the last time I really weighed myself.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, whatever the weight is, like I have no way of knowing. That could be 30 pounds heavier or lighter than it was a year ago. I don't know.
It means nothing to him.
Well, I do think the goal for me has always been to completely be apathetic about like actual numbers on a scale.
Yeah.
But I also like, I don't time myself when I run. And I also don't like, when I like lift weights, I don't like look at the numbers. Like I'm not trying to max out.
You're not like a mathematician about it.
Well, dude, okay. Well, that's also like, here's the thing. With women, it's called like having a disorder. With men, they're just like being a mathematician about fitness.
Right.
Whenever I see a man in the gym and he's got a little notebook and I see like little numbers scrolled, I'm like, dude, you're in trouble, man. Dude, free yourself.
Dude, that's so sad. I remember in 7th grade, I would just be jotting down. I would be adding up all my calories on my paper, and someone one time was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I just like to add numbers." Pretty brutal. Anyway.
Well, yeah, it's like you're like they're like, oh wow, Dana really loves math,
Yeah.
and they see the grade you have in math, and like, okay, maybe something else is going on.
That doesn't track. That doesn't add up.
Yeah,
that doesn't add up. But yeah, anyway.
Well, whenever again, but also as we always talk about, like the weird double standard where it's like it's like men act like they're being mentally tough about their bodies when really I'm like, you're being incredibly weird about your body.
Yeah.
You're obsessed with meal prepping and your carbos and your proteins, and you bring a notebook to the gym. I do think if you bring a notebook to the gym, stop the presses, something's gone wrong.
Well, again, I maintain I think there is like a healthy way to like lose weight, work on your body, like whatever. I'm like, I just don't think that like, dude, I just don't think the notebook is it. I think the notebook is not it.
Well, here's the thing I know about myself, and it's why I don't time myself when I'm on the treadmill or when I'm on a run. I don't really actually I'm not really interested in like seeing what my weight that I'm lifting is in terms of like maxing out or comparing it to past weights. Cause like I know myself, and I know that as soon as you make it about numbers, inherently it gets gamified in an unhealthy way where I'm like, well, if the number today is like, you know, I did X amount of running in 10 minutes. Well, then tomorrow I want to be 9 minutes and 59 seconds. And then, okay, well, I took a second off yesterday, so I should take 3 seconds off today. And then before you know it, like I'm doing what should be a mentally cleansing like activity, exercise, and it's suddenly become like the most stressful thing I've ever done.
That's so real. I think that is it's also okay, just in general, like with health and fitness, I think progress isn't linear. Like with anything in life, like the goal is to, like the stock market, be like kind of trending upward over the course of your life, but understanding that there are hills and valleys, right?
Yeah.
And like being so cognizant of every valley, if you will, doesn't actually help you to get to the next hill. A lot of times it's like, do you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm on a fitness journey and I'm so rigorously tracking things that when I start to like kind of decline on my path, like maybe get slower in my running or gain a little bit of weight, I'm actually more likely to like fall off a cliff than if I just wasn't so meticulously keeping track of my losses and I instead like kind of just you know, continuing on my overall healthy path, like that would lead me to more upward trajectory over time.
Well, I realized I was insane about my exercise when I fell into this pattern of like, I would do like, let's say a set of 10, and then I would convince myself to do 10 and then one extra, 10 and then one extra. So now I'm doing 11, but I would think of it as one extra.
Yeah.
And then after a little while, I'm like, well, the one extra isn't really extra because I've been doing it a while.
Right.
So now I'll do 10 and then 2 extra.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, it's kind of awkward to do 10 and then 1, 2. I should do 1, 2, 3. So I do 10 and then 1, 2, 3. And then at that point, it's like, well, I should do 1, 2, 3 and then one extra. And the cycle goes on. And then before I know it, like each set is like 23 that I count out as 2 sets of 10 plus 2 sets of 2. And then the math becomes so much that now I don't want to go to the gym at all because every time I go into the gym, it's like I'm getting trapped into a maze by the Riddler where suddenly I'm like solving these riddles in my head. And then I had to then ultimately I arrived at like, just knock that shit off.
Well, also just like the Riddler shouldn't be a part of my gym process.
Yes.
That's ultimately, it's like that the Riddler can't be here.
And by the way, that's what people in Gotham City say. Where it's like, why do you stop going to the gym? It's like, well, the Riddler keeps being a part of my process. They're like, oh, you're getting in your own head. It's like, no. The Riddler keeps attacking my gym. The Riddler crashed a blimp into my gym and then made me solve 4 riddles to get to leave. So I just do workouts at home now.
You know what's crazy with the algorithm?
Mm-hmm.
The blimp reminded me of this because that's the third. Blimp is kind of a synchronicity for me today. I'm seeing blimp a lot, but I saw a TikTok of a girl in a blimp, and then I scroll and I see a girl talking about binge eating and blowing up like a blimp right after that. And that's how the TikTok algorithm worked. So it was like I saw a girl on a blimp. And then the next TikTok was a different girl talking about blowing up like a blimp. And then you just said blimp now. What does it mean?
And what does it
all mean?
And sound off in the comments if you know what that means, what that blimp pattern means.
Let me know if you know about blimp synchronicities.
Yo, if you know about blimp synchronicities, by the way, great name for a band. Blimp synchronicities.
Well, also blimps are crazy because like we always talk about there's like only 10 blimps in the world or something. Anyway, I'm Dana. This is Robert. This has been our podcast, the Midnight Milkshake podcast. Like this video, subscribe to our podcast.
I like getting suddenly formal at the end.
Leave a comment. I know, right?
And now that what has been said, I would encourage you to like and subscribe.
I noticed a pattern where like a lot of podcasts, like I think repetition, like something the audience can get really familiar with that you say every episode, like that seems like it's good. for like popularity and becoming famous and
So you
stuff.
think the reason we haven't become super popular and famous is because we haven't stumbled upon the word sequence? You're saying it's like you're saying it's like
I am.
You're saying podcast popularity is like activating the Winter Soldier. But at the end of every
We haven't
episode,
said-
I open. I'm like sled.
We haven't said Bucky Barnes'
blender.
trigger words yet. We haven't done the Zoolander Relax song for our audience.
So maybe that next time, baby.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's think of something. Let's try something that
Well,
we'll
let's
do.
let's say the words that come to mind right now.
Champagne enjoying
Did you guys like that at all?